Now I want to talk about a very special usage for some of these prepositions. For example, an and in, we are using just those two, an and in. If I'm going to the phone, we are saying, ich gehe ans Telefon. If you're going to the ocean, you say, ich gehe ans Meer. If you go to the opera, we use in. Ich gehe in die Oper. But in English, it always says to someplace. In German, we use a different preposition. If I'm going to the mountains, I say in die Berge. If I'm going to the movies, we say ins Kino. So, ans, here meaning to, in or ins meaning to also in English. And you need to memorize these, okay? Otherwise, you will try to translate it from English to German. In English, we say to, but in German, we use different prepositions with them. All right. And another very important one is auf. Ich gehe aufs Rathaus. Auf usually means on top of, right? That's what we learned. But in this particular instance, it just means to City Hall. I'm going to City Hall. If you're going to the bank, you use auf again. Ich gehe auf die Bank, and it means to the bank. And if you're going to the post office, you say auf die Post. You're going to the post office. If you suppose you're going to the market, how would you say that? You would say auf den Markt. And as you know, in Germany, they have, usually in front of, or on a city square, they have a big open air market in Germany once or twice a week. That's when the farmers come and bring fresh produce. So if you're going there, you would say, ich gehe auf den Markt. So please memorize these expressions. They're very handy to know. Okay, and some of them will probably show up in your exam, so you want to know them. Now, when we are saying, remember a while ago when we talked about going to city, state, country, we used nach, we said nach Deutschland, nach Baltimore, nach Africa, whatever. But when we say to the United States, since the United States is a plural word, we say in die USA. So when we're going to the United States, wir reisen in die USA. The same thing happens with Switzerland. Switzerland is a D word. Countries usually have no articles with them. So when you go to Switzerland, you have to say, ich gehe in die Schweiz. There's another word, die Türkei. To Turkey, if you're going to Turkey, you would say, ich gehe in die Türkei. But I don't want to write all of those down. The most important ones are in die USA and in die Schweiz. These are some exceptions to the rules. And these are special usages, and they need to be memorized.